So I wanted to do a Spidey cosplay last night, but everybody's like, haha, waiting for the queef. So I made a video. What, do you guys want me to come in like this? Like, can I just post a thirst trap without being like, let one rip? Anyways.
Oh man. 1212. Episode 22. Before we do anything here, I gotta say, what a talented bunch you guys are. I got your letters. I read everything. I got to show you guys some of the things people sent me. Well, we're going to do a fan mail segment at the end of the show today. Really cool stuff. What I learned from your letters is that there's two types of people out there. Normal people and vabbers. And if you don't know what a vabber is, don't feel bad because apparently I'm late on this too. Women are now wearing their vaginal juices on their neck as perfume. That's right, folks. I'm just reading the news. Enough people are doing this that it made headlines.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but vabbing works. Vabbing 100% works. Like, what the I got offered 2 free drinks at the pool, and then a guy literally came back and gave me this.
If you vab, you will attract people. Like a day, a one-night stand, or you'll just get free drinks all night.
This has been going on for a while now, apparently, too.
All right, you guys, the vabbing is complete.
Vabbing at the gym for the first time.
You guys aren't gonna believe me.
Told ya. I would never steer you girls wrong. So what are you waiting for? Stop thinking about it and just do it.
It's hard to keep up with the collapse of society. I miss a lot of shrapnel. Sometimes it hits me right in the face, but this one flew right past me.
Get up there, give them a swipe.
Anyway, we're going to get an expert female perspective on this stuff today. The hilarious Violet Jones is calling in a little bit. Now, Violet's an LA comic, and I got to imagine this is where all these trends are originating from. So I'm hoping she's got some intel on what's going on here because I just don't get it.
Get up there, give them a swipe.
The horror show continues. I mean, you might as well consider this episode the Halloween special because it's not going to be pretty. I'm just warning you right now. The things I've seen the past month, it's just horrific. You got a lady here who decided to turn herself into a dragon. Yeah, scale implants, split her tongue. Look at her. There's an article here about how her son has disowned her because of this, which I actually think is a mistake. I mean, I'm assuming he was living at home with her. Kind of a missed opportunity. I mean, if your mom's a dragon, you could use her as a hibachi grill. I mean, you got an electric stove, the power goes out, at least you still got a flame. Nobody's going to rob your house knowing there's a dragon in there. To me, it just seems like a safe place to be. A little sense of security, until you get on your feet. Who are these surgeons? Does anyone ever wonder who these people are? I was checking in on the alien guy. And if you remember, I did a video on this one a while back. His mission in life is to become an alien. Now, I don't usually give out these people's names because, their whole life revolves around getting attention. But this guy's so fascinating. I got to let you in on this. He calls himself the Black Alien Project. Now, since I did that video on him, he has since removed 2 fingers from each of his hands. Yeah, he's removing limbs now. Yeah, not kidding. He has plans to remove his legs next. I mean, could you imagine? Everyone in the world would very much like to keep their hands and legs. Yet this guy would rather remove them and slither on the ground like an earthworm. You don't want to know what he wants to do to his alien prong. I'm not even touching that one. I don't need visions of that popping up in my nightmares. And he just keeps adding things. Like I guess he cut a slit in his lip and put a little see-through glass piece in there so you could see his bottom teeth. Like, who cares to even do this? I just refuse to pretend like this isn't insane. Like we're all supposed to sit here and pretend like there's no reason to be concerned for this man. Come on. That's why I love all these virtue signalers. Pray for Ukraine. Pray for Afghanistan. How about pray for the mentally ill? Where's the march for these people? My heart is heavy today as we pray for the injustice the TV tells me to care about this month. Everyone pretends to care. All these people marching around and screaming on social media about how much they care about people. You'd think each one of these people would be housing a few of these marginalized, vulnerable people. Here's a guy walking around chopping his limbs off each month. His nose is gone, ears. He's about to split his salami in half. I mean, he tells you where he is. Go find him and hug him. Help him. You care about people, right? The suicide rates are rising. People are in need. Yeah, you think this guy's just going to grow into his old age? Come on. We got to start getting real here, man. You know, if you're pretending to care about society to make yourself look like you care while doing nothing about it, just shut the fuck up. It's like rich people who, when they see a homeless guy, they're quick to give him money, right? They'll cut checks for charity. And then when they're at a restaurant and they get the wrong salad dressing, they berate the waitress. You know, because they're good people, right? Funny how easy it is for them to give money, but how hard it is for them to actually be a decent human being when no one's looking. Isn't that funny? People are so full of shit. And it's hilarious that those kind of people don't know that we know they are.
Here's some food for you, buddy.
Yeah, anyway, let me get to my sponsor real quick and thank the guys at Raycon for supporting the show. I carry these things in my pocket just so in case I come across these type of people, I could just pop them right in my ear. They're very, very handy. They sound good too. You could crank these things. 8 hours of playtime, 32-hour battery life. You get quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. They make it very simple. You just tap it for the volume up and down. Everything's on the earplug. That's what I like, and they stay in your ear. That's the best part because I got such a big head. It's like my ear holes are too big. Anytime I ever get these damn earplugs, they always fall out. But these ones, they're solid, man. You can customize the sound profiles. Raycon's everyday earbuds has over 50,000 5-star reviews. Go to buyraycon.com today. Use code JoeyBVS15 to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's code JoeyBVS15 at buyraycon.com to score 15% off. Now, could you imagine during that ad read, guaranteed someone somewhere in the world was vabbing? Statistically, I mean, out of all the people in the world, somebody was doing that during my ad read. That's a thought for you. Oh, my God. You know, I was watching this show, Botched, where people go in with botched plastic surgeries and, you know, these doctors fixed them. But it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It makes you wonder, like, who are these doctors who do this to people? I mean, I understand that there's mistakes, but it's like, why are you, like, if somebody wants to get concrete put in their ass, who's doing this? Who is doing these things? It's just like, I don't understand it. And I understand, like, these are extreme cases, obviously. But, you know, it's just funny because growing up, I never saw anyone with plastic surgery. And if you did, it was kind of like a talk of the town. Like, oh, do you know, like, Judy's got fake boobs? Or like, oh, did you see that lady? She's got fake lips. Like, it was an anomaly to see that growing up. And I remember going to California around, I don't know, 2008. And I'm seeing it everywhere. And I'm like, is this just a regional thing or is this something that's trending worldwide now and just hasn't reached where I grew up at? And I haven't been home, you know, in a while to really, you know, see how much it's changed. But I mean, from what I'm seeing, I'm like, this is like taking over the world. I mean, people are getting their lips done, their asses done. And I mean, and it's not just exclusive to women. I mean, men are doing this too. But it just seems like it is like way more prominent in the female community. This is why I'm excited to have my guest on today, and we should bring her up. And I gotta pee, so I'm gonna be right back, and we're gonna get into it with Violet Jones.
I was at the zoo with my dude. We were making out in this private part of the zoo, and then we look up and there's a monkey fucking jacking off. And then we're like, what, dude? And he's like, and then ran into the bushes. And I thought maybe he was just cleaning himself. You know, maybe that was like a monkey thing. They were just cleaning their dick. They were just, you know, getting termites out or something. Nope. Googled it, looked up monkey porn. Not proud of that search. And apparently monkeys jack off all of the time. I know this because I watched so many videos of it with my dude in our bed, which I think was a little bit a strange bonding experience, but it worked. And the best part, if you look it up, a lot of them are taken by parents of their kid looking at the monkey, and then the monkey starts masturbating and the parent keeps recording. It's like, oh, isn't that funny? Animals are crazy. Bro, a monkey's jacking off to your child and you're just okay with this. And you know what the weird part? The monkey didn't just go like this. It's like he went like, and then he squeezed it out. He was like, oh. And then he wiped it off with his finger and ate it. Savage.
Oh, he's cleaning it.
The best part was that my dude kept kissing me after the monkey was jacking off. He went back for it. That's commitment. That's when I was like, I'm marrying this dude for sure.
Miss Violet Jones, how are you?
I'm good. I did ayahuasca a couple days ago, which probably wasn't a good idea considering that I know who you are and I know who your podcast is like. And I'm like, all right, this is going to be a lot of anger.
This is going to be a positive. I've turned over a new leaf recently. Yeah. Yeah. See, I didn't need ayahuasca to turn over a leaf because this is actually perfect timing because I need a female perspective on a few things here today. There's a few things going on in the women's community that I just can't wrap my brain around. And I realized I need someone who has a vagina her whole life to help me understand this.
I'll do my best.
What is this vabbing thing? Did you hear about this?
No.
Oh, women are rubbing their vagina juices on their neck and using it as perfume on dates.
The lady in this video is talking about how people are naturally drawn to you if you take some vagina juice and dab it on yourself as if it's perfume. And it just makes me think how, you know, I feel like people naturally are drawn to me and people, you know, like my charisma or whatever when they meet me. And I wonder if it's because I always smell like vagina.
Do I need to do that?
I feel like this is something animals would do.
I haven't met a single person that thoroughly enjoys the smell of my vagina unless I stuff it with some kind of cream from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. So probably not.
Okay, so you're opting out on this trend.
But I wonder if they know something we don't know. Like there's probably, it's like a pheromone thing probably. I wonder if guys do this. You know, I love the smell of dicks. So maybe...
Well, look, I was thinking about starting the babbing trend, which I would just, I guess, to have my ball sweat on my neck. I mean, that would probably put me in good standing with social media, considering that it's trending on TikTok, but I'm banned. So maybe I should have started the babbing trend for men.
Well, you know what we should do? We should do an experiment. I'll pee on a paper towel and dab it on my neck. You pee on whatever toiletries you have, put it on your neck. Yeah. And we should see if our partners like it.
Yeah, well, at the very least, our careers will skyrocket if we filmed it, right? I mean, it's just like, no matter what, we'll get something out of this. We might lose our partners, but...
This guy who I went on a date with for a week 8 years ago, and I blocked him because he was so weird.
Yeah.
He just messaged me on WhatsApp and asked me to do OnlyFans with him.
Oh, jeez.
And he's like, come on, my girlfriend just got gangbanged by this guy. It was so hot. I would love you to be a part of it. I was like, I haven't seen this guy in 8 years. And I was like, well, send me videos because you got to know what the content is. I was like, send me the content. I want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
And then he asked me, he's like, are you into anal? And I was like, well, I don't know, maybe. And he's like, okay, great. He's like, I want someone to eat my ass.
Holy crap. What an aggressive approach. And you haven't seen this guy in how long?
8 years.
8 years.
I feel like he's probably putting pee on his neck. He's flabbing or pabbing or whatever
absolutely.
it's called.
That guy came in like Hurricane Ian. Holy shit. Well, look, we got to talk about our friend Airbag Tits. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I get all my news through you, Joey. So
That's not a good thing. That's definitely a concern.
Is this the girl that
you'll know right away when you see her?
Oh God. Oh no. Wait, but what's up with the long-haired guy just like in her tits? Oh, this is our favorite stripper girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh no. Wait, that guy is like, he's like, come home with me. She just. Oh my God, he looks like he's about to smuggle her. Oh no.
Isn't that horrible?
Oh no.
I mean, could you imagine eating across the street? I mean, people must be horrified.
I live not far from this situation, which is very disappointing that I didn't see it in person. I just want to know what it feels like. Two things. I want to know what it feels like to carry all that around all day long. And also, how do they sleep? Like, you posted that video of the chicks with the giant butts recently.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you have to sleep on your stomach? Because you can't sleep. How do you sleep?
Well, with
that's
those
all
big
I
asses,
think about.
well, you don't even need a mattress. You could just sleep anywhere. So, I mean, it serves a purpose.
Joey, think about the dynamics of this, right? Because if your butt is like this, that means you're sleeping like a triangle. You're sleeping like this. And then if your butt, so you can't sleep because you have the curve of your back would be like broken. And then okay, so you have to sleep on your side because a lot of these girls have big giant tits because you can't sleep like this because then you'd be an upward dog. That's whenever I see these surgeries, I'm just like, how are these people sleeping?
I don't know.
I don't know how to do it.
They're not going to last very long. I don't understand it. I figured you would have seen her by now. I mean, she's not hard to miss.
I don't go outside.
Well, that's a good thing. I don't either. Especially if I was living in LA and I seen that. Imagine having kids. Imagine being at a stoplight and she just drops on your windshield. That would be like an alien falling out of a spaceship. you would be horrified. I mean, that would get you to move, right? I mean,
you're like, all right, kids.
Holy crap! I mean, I that's the thing is that you got to help me understand this because, I talk a lot about this stuff, and it's like I don't know what it's like to be a female, but so there definitely is a female perspective that there must be just some avenue I'm not thinking of now. Like, what would compel a woman to do something like this to their body? I mean, I've spent a lot of time in LA. I'm telling you, it's odd to not see a female with any work done, but there's just some things that are overboard. I mean, just like the general lip thing. Like, these women will blow up their lips to the point where their upper lip starts to extend out like a Simpsons character. Like if you look at their side view, it's Marge Simpson. I mean, is the Simpsons just like a big thing out there? Are they super fans? Is this like a cosplay thing?
Okay, so I know that your fans are probably the most cutthroat, no bullshit motherfuckers.
They're sweethearts. They're all sweethearts.
I think probably out of any podcast, your fans are like the realest motherfuckers, see-through bullshit kind of people. So I'm going to be completely transparent. I have gotten my lips done before. So I do have a tidbit of experience. It's gone now, but I think when a girl gets it done, more or less, I don't know. There's some part of it is the filters on Instagram.
Okay.
Because there's all those filters that make your lips look like this, and then you're just like, I just want it to last a little bit longer than the 15 seconds I have on Instagram stories. You know what I mean? So you get it done. This is not funny.
I'm not laughing. This is a very
is this a
serious.
genuine
I mean,
question?
people are on the edge of their seats right now, waiting. You're representing all the females in the world right now.
I'm not a good Okay, I don't really. I was raised by a super sexist father. So I don't really feel like I have a good perspective on what women want. I feel like Mel Gibson in that movie right now.
Well, let me phrase it this way then. Like you said, you've got work done, but you haven't gotten work done to the extent of the people that I'm showcasing and the people that I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
let me ask you this. What stops you from going to that level?
I came home and my boyfriend told me I looked like a Russian hooker.
Wow.
He's like, whatever you want, but you look like I punched you in the face. And I was like, okay.
Yikes.
Okay. So I think, probably a real soundboard. I mean, honestly, these women that are doing, and even same thing for men.
Right.
When you go to that level of extreme, it's the same reason why anyone does something to the extreme, right? Is you desperately want attention.
I see.
You desperately want attention. You desperately want your life to mean something. And this gives those people, it gives them a sense of purpose in life. I walk down the street and I get noticed, and this is something that everyone looks at and gives my life a sense of purpose. And that's why they have to keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. It's the same reason why a musician, sadly, or like it's
right.
A musician or someone's like, I'm gonna make a new song, I'm gonna get bigger, I'm gonna do a bigger stadium. It's the same part of the human brain. It's just applied to a different thing.
So do you think that's what this shop teacher with the prosthetic boobs is going for? Have you seen the guy walking around the pool?
Yeah.
And are we sure that that's not Tim Dillon? I mean, like, have you looked at his face? That there's a very close resemblance there. I don't think he's for real. Like, here's the thing. Here's what creeps me out is that this guy's teaching kids how to use power tools, and he's not even using them right. There's a video of him using a power saw with his hair dangling down right in front of the saw. I mean, do you know how dangerous this is? Like, he's going to let somebody with long hair do this without telling them to put their hair up. And then they interview the principal, and they're more upset with the kid referring to him as a he. Like, this could be the next Saw movie.
I think he probably is. Is this a trans? Does this person identify as a woman?
We don't know what he identifies as. All we know that it's a man that's wearing a wig and he has prosthetic boobs. We don't know, like, I don't know what his pronouns are, what he wants to be referred to, but it's definitely a man.
Okay. So I'm going to refer to her as she.
Okay, you do that. Congratulations. We'll play pretend.
So she, well,
look at you watching, being very careful about what you say right now.
No, I've worked with people that identify as they, so yeah. I've trained. You think calling someone who identifies as a she or a he is hard. Try meeting someone who identifies as a they. Every time you talk about them, you have to say they went there and they did this and they feel this way. Have you ever done this exercise?
No, I stay in my house. This is why I don't go outside. But if I were to run into these situations, I would gladly refer to anybody whatever they want to be referred to. That I have no problem doing that. But the reality is, between adults, we know that it's a man and we know that it's a woman, but we're being polite and we're trying to be inclusive by giving them the respect to talk to them that way. And I understand that. But they have to know that it's not easy to do that. Like, you're going to slip up. You're going to forget.
They do it on purpose, especially the people who are theys. I swear these motherfuckers do it on purpose, because you'll be there and they will sit there and they will triple check every single word. Like, you have to make sure. And then you'll say, oh yeah, I'm sorry. They did that. So sorry. They, but it is fun now, because whenever I date people, I always refer to them as they, and leaving it ambiguous so people don't know if you're dating a man or a woman. And that's a fun thing for me, especially if I'm at a dog park and there's some lesbian that's very thirsty, and I'm like, and then my partner, they're just, and she's like, she definitely munches cooch, and I'm like, maybe, because they don't know. But the shop teacher, I think, you know what, they just need to train. If they were a drama teacher, we wouldn't be talking about this. If this person was a theater teacher, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
That's true.
Or dance or
Sure.
cheerleading coach.
Sure.
I think they just need to we just don't identify this person with a shop class.
But here's the thing, though, is that I don't know how it's perceived out in the outside world, and I could imagine how it is. But as we talked about in the beginning of the interview, I'm more concerned that he's not qualified for the job. And I feel like this whole discussion about what he's wearing is like masking the real important issue. Like his hair's going to get caught in the power saw. He's going to scalp himself. And nobody's talking. Like, that's why, like, I feel like there's a big nuance to this discussion. Everyone's so caught up in the he, she, they thing. And it's like, to me, a lot of times when you bring this up because the person might be trans, it's almost like they can do no wrong. You're not even allowed to talk about that. And if you talk about that, like there's anything wrong with them, then you're transphobic. It's like, we can't live in a society like that. That's not fair.
Excuse me, ma'am. No porn at the bar.
Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
Just like if you got to walk on eggshells because someone demands that you perfectly, throw the word they in the right moments. It's like we've created a new language. It's like, you got to give us a window of time to like adjust to this. Like, how arrogant is that to like expect you to like get it perfect? It's like, and I know they're not all like that, but like in your personal experience, here you are, you got to walk on eggshells. And meanwhile, you do respect them. You are treating them like a human being, but yet they're coming back and they're fucking whipping you across the neck because you get it wrong. Like, I just feel that we all need to calm the fuck down.
Well, who chose they? That's what I don't know. Honestly, who the fuck? Who's in charge of this?
Who is in charge? I need to know.
Who's in charge? I swear to fucking God, there's these things that just are happening. Like, who's making these choices? No one's asking. No one's wondering. I don't think it's fair. They should make a new word.
Yeah.
They should make a new word for they, because they usually refers to a group of people, plural. Right. Now, I did a lot of research on this.
Oh, okay.
So in Shakespearean time, sometimes they would refer to people as they if they were, whatever, gender ambiguous.
Yeah.
So that's why I guess they pulled it. But I do think that they should change it to a different word, because it's not fair. It's not fair because when I was like, oh, they went to the store, people are like, who went to the store? A group of people went to the store?
Yeah.
No, this one person went to the store. It's just confusing from a grammar's perspective.
I agree. It's sloppy.
I don't know who we complain to. I don't know who's in charge of this. Like, where do we write a letter? I know if my congressman passes a law I don't like, I know where to send the letter. But I don't know who's in charge of all of us. And what we're supposed to be, I don't know who's in charge of what.
I would start with Demi Lovato and go from there. She's gotta know.
It does. There are moments where I start feeling old.
Oh, I almost thought you were gonna say there's moments where I start feeling like I'm a they.
No.
You scared me. Well, I shouldn't be scared. Okay, now I'm transphobic. I'm they phobic now. I gotta shout out my my other sponsor here for supporting the show real quick. ExpressVPN. Yeah, I haven't been watching a lot of movies lately, but I will tell you, every time Halloween comes up, I love watching old horror movies. I'm not really into any of the new movies. I mean, really, the best horror movie out there right now is your average TikTok feed. So what's cool about ExpressVPN is if, say, you're on Netflix, right? And I don't know how many times I go to Netflix and I search for a movie and I can't find it. That happens to me all the time. What you don't realize is there's a lot of movies in there that's hidden, that they do have, but they're only available in other countries. So with ExpressVPN, what you're able to do is you can change your online location to make it look like you're in a different country. When you do this, you can access all the movies that are available in other countries on Netflix. That's what's awesome about this. And it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN works with pretty much all the streaming services. Use it on your phone, your tablet, your TV, all that stuff. Get 3 extra months of ExpressVPN for free when you go to expressvpn.com/JoeyBVS. That's expressvpn.com/JoeyBVS.
So this person that I used to work with, the person who identifies as they, when I first met them, you know, I said, hey, you know, I was trying to create some sort of relationship, and I was like, well, why did you come to this? And they said, because I almost fucked up again. She didn't say. They said, well, I don't really. There's times where I feel very masculine. There's times where I feel very feminine. And I was like, okay, I understand. I feel like that sometimes too. You know, when I put on my fucking like snowboarding outfit and my fucking beanie, and I'm just like, I'm basically a guy right now. And then there's moments where I put on Victoria's Secret shit and I'm like, I'm such a girl. These gender constructs are a bit confusing. So I said, oh, I understand. Sometimes I feel more masculine and sometimes I feel more feminine. I doubt there's moments where you, Joey, feel feminine.
If there was a feminine side to me, it would be me wearing my emotions on my sleeve. I don't think that's typical for men.
Which is ironic because I have the opposite problem. I'm very left brain thinking driven, and it's hard for me. It's taken a lot of work for me to learn how to be feeling driven and emotional and think through a feeling perspective. So that's why you start looking at these gender norms. It's like, well, maybe we shouldn't have, maybe the idea of gender norms, we're trying to become that, but it's not really an accurate representation of people. I don't know. I mean, do you think if we didn't have gender norms, like let's say hypothetically speaking, there was no he and there was no she, and there was no gender bias, there was no identity, do you think people would be different? I mean,
wouldn't be people.
You wouldn't. You think? But
no.
Well, why?
Because how would we? I mean, we'd be a whole different species, though. It relies on men and women to produce more people, right? So if we didn't have that, like we'd be a tree.
Well, like you look at you know, like bacteria. They don't have a female or male, but they do replicate by division, and so there's plenty of species who replicate that don't have gender.
Yeah, but they also don't have feelings either, do they? Do they have hopes and dreams? Like, does an amoeba have hopes and dreams?
Yes, to replicate.
Do they think about it, though, or are they just on autopilot?
That's all they care about.
Did you talk about this during your ayahuasca trip?
Absolutely not.
I would annoy the shaman. He'd be like, all right, just get out of here. Like, what are we talking about here?
Have you done it before?
No, I have no desire to do it. I mean, I've done mushrooms. That's probably as far as I've gone. I've done Molly and stuff like that. But I will tell you this, though. Most of the experiences that I've heard have been positive and eye-opening. Some even have religious experiences or kind of cleans a slate in their life where they can start over and they're thinking fresh. For me, there's nothing that I've heard that people have gotten out of it that I feel that I need or want right now.
Well, I think it's kind of ayahuasca is very interesting because they always say the medicine knows what you need, right? So someone who, it's weird. It's almost like a spirit, and it knows exactly what you have or what's blocking you energetically, and that's what you work on, right? So for me, the reason why I started it was because in my stand-up, I felt like I had issues being vulnerable on stage, and emotionally, I would hide, and I always felt like I was hiding a little bit, and so many people I've dated told me, they're like, you're like a robot, you don't have feelings, and I was so left brain. And so I did it to access my feelings. And then when I did it, I realized, oh, my dad would leave if I cried or if I had emotion. And so I learned emotions are bad. So I turned off my feelings. So that's something. So for you, it could mean anything, you know, maybe it's, who knows what it is, but I would never try to sell it to anybody. I don't think it's necessary for anyone, but there is a really cool thing where you feel, you know, like you feel very connected. I would akin it to, you know, I'm a very nihilistic person. I always thought when you died, nothing, just everything was black. And then when I did it, I felt the sense of, oh, there maybe is something outside of our peripheral sphere of life that we can't see, and maybe there is something outside of it. And I don't care if there is something. I don't feel, you know, I think the need for an afterlife comes from a place of fear and feeling like, you know, oh, I need something, and I don't really care. So to be experienced, that was interesting. you know, like, well, maybe there is something that's after, or like energetically
it's
outside.
interesting that you say that, because I have a similar perspective where it's like, I believe there's something out there. I believe we came from something, like everything on the earth. But
what are you basing that on?
well, I'm basing it on the fact that the sun grows the crops for us to eat and stay alive, and everything's in a perfect position. I feel like it's an odd coincidence that everything is like a well-oiled machine. And I feel like everything that was created came from something. So my opinion is that there has to be a creator based on that. Do I know 100%? No, I don't. But I put my money on it. But to your point, I'm not obsessed with knowing. I don't need to know. I don't think we're supposed to know. I don't think we should be obsessing over it, because I feel like that's where a lot of the conflict comes. Don't you think? In the world, there's a lot of religious wars. There's a lot of people are pissed off when someone doesn't believe the same thing another person believes in. So I feel like we're not supposed to obsess with it. I feel like what's ever going to happen is going to happen. So to along your lines where it's kind of like, well, I don't think we need to know or whatever. I agree with you. I have a hunch. I'd like to believe that there was a creator. I do believe in a creator, but do I know how we got here? I don't fucking know, but I'm not going to pretend that I know. But it sounds like a great story. I would love to know that there's a guy or something in the sky watching over me and I go to this beautiful place. That would be great. So why don't I just strive to that? Why don't I just try to be the best person that I could be, just in case I don't get fucked at the end of this? You know, how horrible would that be, where he's just like, you're dead, and then you just show up at the gate. He's like, I'm here, bitch.
You go to hell and you're in a prison with all the people you've ever shit on any podcast.
Oh, well, see.
It's just big tits. Hi, Joey. I've been waiting for you.
Oh, God. I would kill myself again. I'd be like, please tell me there's another hell. I'll try another one. Yes. Like,
your punishment is hell, is that they get to do the surgeries to you.
Oh, that would be my hell, though.
Giant tits.
Right?
You can't sleep. They're thinking about our podcast. We're like, you really can't sleep with a big ass and giant tits. Like, there's no comfortable position.
Don't say that. I'll end up retiring from the show. The next show, I'll just be like, guys, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, she freaked me out. Violet freaked me out.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, it's wild out there. But look, Violet, thank you for your insight. And then what do you got coming up, and where can people see you perform, and where can they find you online and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I'm taking my late night set pretty soon here, and that's kind of just my focus right now. I'm not going to say for which late night because it's not finalized yet, but Instagram, Violet Jones, and come say hello.
Okay, thanks, hon. I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. All right, talk to you later.
Well, that was fun. Now I want to get into the fan stuff. And you know, sometimes I like to highlight artists in my videos in contrast to the nonsense that gets attention on the internet. So maybe I'll do that each episode. You know, at the end of the show, we'll go through the mail and we'll just do like an artist spotlight for somebody, you know, just to keep that going. But I got to read one letter in particular here that I got. And I'm going to keep the name anonymous. We'll just say Jennifer. Because I got something to say about this. I got some advice for this person. So I'm going to I'm going to skim through this a little bit and get to the meat of it here. Let's see. Dear Joey, now I'm skipping around a little bit. I am 29 years old. I can't seem to cross paths with anyone that has a passion. Everyone around me is glued to their phones, TVs, or video games. I say this is the loneliest time to be alive. Dating apps have completely destroyed meaningful human connection. Alpha males have gone extinct. Men are afraid of women. I was asked if I consent to a kiss after a date. What a turnoff. Morals and working values now obsolete. Even my girlfriends have bought into the idea that it is okay to live a life without class. The steady brainwash of those around me keeps me and my views in a silent box on the shelf. Talk about isolation. Meanwhile, in the dating world, I can't seem to find a guy with the wherewithal to set up his own dentist appointments without his mommy. I don't think my ability to find people that are responsible is broken. I think this is just how people are now. Women flapping their ass cheeks and men with no credit scores. Well, Jennifer, the good thing is that you're doing everything that you're supposed to do to attract the guy that you're looking for and the right people, because committing to being yourself is the only way to attract the right type of people for you. Because if you're living an inauthentic life, you're going to attract inauthentic people. And that's why a lot of people have the issues that they're having. A lot of people in relationships settle. A lot of people in their relationships don't want to be with that person. They cheat. A lot of people just come to terms with themselves and just don't believe that they can find the right person. But the way to do that, whether it's a relationship or friends, is to just commit to being who you are. Whether people accept you for it or not is irrelevant. That's their problem. The moment you start steering away from your core values or compromise your values or bend your backbone in any direction that doesn't feel natural, you're going to start attracting people that are attracted to the facade that you're putting on. Sometimes you have to commit to being who you are unapologetically. And I promise you, if you let that be known, you will attract the right people in your life. And on that note, we'll end the show. Guys, check out the Patreon. We got bonus stuff on there. Always posting new stuff. We got a little mini podcast called The Morning Rant. If you want more of this, go on social media, Instagram, Facebook. I don't even know if you could even follow me anymore. They froze my follower account on there. People tell me all the time they're not seeing my posts or they had to refollow me. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should start twerking or babbing. I don't know. I don't get it. Look, guys, till next time. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.